Alright, this video is brought to you by Don't Buy the China Lie. This is a hoodie. I'll be adding t-shirts and what have you. But there's the back. Don't buy the China Lie. Let's take a look at the front. And that's the standard. Patriotism, the new counterculture. Alright, let's get into your briefing. Alright, Rebels, today's briefing is from the Gateway Pundit. Laura Loomer calls for congressional pay freeze as Nancy Pelosi refuses to help small businesses and American workers. This is by Jacob Engels, E-N-G-E-L-S, published April 20th. The campaign of journalist turned congressional candidate Laura Loomer is calling for a freeze on Nancy Pelosi's congressional salary and to put the pay of dopey bartender AOC and Iranian regime sympathizer Ilhan Omar on ice. Okay. Thank you. Now a tweet from Carl Higbee. I have known Laura Loomer for years and said from day one that if she runs, she will win. The Democrats are about to get a rude awakening, and there she is. And now, this picture is from the New York Post. A Republican AOC, which I think is slander, because Laura Loomer, even though she's an activist, she's not stupid. So Republican AOC Laura Loomer gains steam in congressional race. Laura Loomer, a 26-year-old conservative provocateur running for Congress in the Sunshine State, is gaining strength with activists. Okay, that's their spin. In an email to supporters, Loomer makes a great point about paydays for members of Congress. Their paychecks continue to flow despite their inability to meet and legislate amid coronavirus. Let me rephrase that a little bit. Despite their unwillingness to meet and legislate amid coronavirus. On to the article. While tens of millions of Americans are laid off or facing delayed pay due to the historic economic gains of the Trump administration being crippled by the media-fueled lockdown. I'm one of those tens of millions. It's over 22 million who are out of work when they were working just fine before the hysteria hit. And I would call it not a media-fueled lockdown, but a media-fueled hysteria or hysterical lockdown. In between doing rounds on television shows, Nancy Pelosi is lounging in her California mansion, tweeting from her phone to keep American businesses closed, and enjoying her gourmet ice cream and chocolate. Democrats in Congress have done nothing to support the Trump administration through all of this. More than nothing, they are attacking America. Their focus, as always, has been taking shots at the president while sitting on their ass. It wasn't but a week ago that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi gave a cringy video performance in front of a high-end refrigerator stocked full of gourmet ice cream. Speaking exclusively to TGP, that would be the Gateway Pundit, Laura Loomer lambasted Pelosi's privilege and opulent lifestyle as Americans suffer. And this is basically another article on the Gateway Pundit. Pelosi continues to take a paycheck as she denies funding to U.S. small businesses during crisis. Will not meet until Wednesday. They don't care. They're not going to come back. So this is another article on Gateway Pundit. I may do that video as well. As a result of the COVID-19 lockdown, 22 million plus Americans are now unemployed, and while Americans are struggling to pay their rent and feed their families, Congress can't seem to get their act together. It's time for Nancy Pelosi's paycheck to be frozen like her luxury freezer full of gourmet ice cream. I believe that's a quote from Laura Loomer. Loomer has outraged her Democrat opponent for the third straight quarter in a row. Good for her. Conservative activist Laura Loomer outrages Democrat incumbent for third straight quarter in hot congressional race. Maybe this also is another article. I'm just going to read this first portion that they include in this article. Might be another video. Once considered a fringe outlier, activist Laura Loomer is emerging as a serious candidate for a congressional seat in Florida. Loomer is challenging Democrat incumbent Lois Frankel. The district was created in 1993 and was held by Republicans until redistricting a few years ago. It runs from Palm Beach down to blah, blah, blah. I'm not a Floridian, so that may be an additional video. Laura Loomer added, AOC and her squad, along with Pelosi and her establishment Democrats, will fight tooth and nail to keep me from getting sworn into Congress next year. As an investigative journalist, I've embarrassed all of them on video, even exposing Ilhan Omar for marrying her own brother and putting illegal aliens on Nancy Pelosi's lawn. That was classic. Go ahead and search YouTube for that video. I enjoyed watching that. Okay, so that is the briefing for today. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And there's your briefing, rebels. Go forth and speak freely.